Window opens, allowing the sharp, cold mountain air to rush in, carrying the whispers of the wind and the forest's breath. Wisps of wood smoke rise from the stone chimney, blending seamlessly with the low-hanging clouds as the cabin begins its daily dialogue with the cold, damp morning air. Looking upward, the giants of the forest sway in a slow, majestic rhythm, their needles whispering secrets as the mist dances through their dark, towering branches above us. A simple harvest of wild berries sits on the table, glistening with moisture and providing a burst of deep color against the rustic, weathered textures of the wood. The cabin itself seems to be a part of the forest, its dark, damp logs covered in emerald moss that thrives in the eternal humidity of the highlands. For a brief moment, the fog thins, revealing the distant ridges of blue mountains that stretch forever, standing like silent guardians of this hidden, peaceful highland paradise. Warmth is found in the smallest things, like the soft texture of wool resting near the hearth, waiting to protect against the biting chill of the morning. The ritual begins as dark, aromatic coffee beans tumble into an antique wooden grinder, their glossy surfaces promising a rich, bold flavor to start the day right. The rhythmic sound of grinding beans fills the quiet room, a tactile melody of morning preparation that signals the transition from sleep to a state of awareness. Finely ground and full of potential, the coffee dust falls into the small wooden drawer, releasing a fragrance that cuts through the damp air of the cabin. Dry pine wood catches the fire's kiss, crackling loudly as small, bright sparks dance into the air, bringing life and heat to the center of the wooden home. The flames perform an ancient dance, their hypnotic movements casting a warm glow that softens the sharp edges of the furniture and fills the heart with comfort. A weathered copper kettle is set upon the heat, soon singing its high-pitched tune as steam begins to rise, signaling that the water is ready for brewing. The traditional metal filter is placed carefully over a glass, set against a backdrop of hand-woven tribal patterns that speak of KBS1. K1, a rainy evening with unexpected guests. Cozy Village Life in India. https://youtube be/-qj 6xk 4fb6m $si uqlao8 qbbrvnrx 344,12 pa rainy evening with unexpected guests. Cozy Village Life in India. 23036 Kai 21726 for the morning awakens in the heart of the high plateau, where a thick blanket of silver mist wraps around the ancient pines, hiding a small wooden sanctuary. A single oil lamp flickers behind the glass, its golden warmth standing in stark contrast to the deep, chilly blues of the waking highland forest outside the cabin. Nature's jewels cling to every needle, trembling in the cold air as they gather weight, eventually falling silently onto the damp, fragrant earth of the mountain forest. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of home, as steam billows from a clay pot, dancing over the gentle heat of a crackling wood-burning stove. The rhythmic bubbling of the soup provides a comforting melody, while the orange embers pulse like a slow heartbeat in the dim, early morning light of the kitchen. The horizon shifts to a pale, ghostly gray as a silent flash of lightning illuminates the heavy clouds, hinting at an early storm approaching the silent valley. Down in the valley, the fog transforms into ribbons of white silk, draping elegantly over the treetops and obscuring the world in a mysterious, ethereal morning embrace. Gentle hands bring light to the shadows, igniting a flame that stretches across the timber walls, creating a sanctuary of peace within the vast, misty highland wilderness. Among the misty branches, the local birds begin their morning ritual, their fleeting shapes weaving through the haze as they call out to the rising, hidden sun. A single drop of water captures the essence of this peaceful world, reflecting the humble cabin before it shatters upon the mossy ground in a tiny splash. The porch remains still and quiet, an empty chair inviting a moment of reflection as the mountain peaks remain hidden behind a dense, unmoving wall of white. Sunlight begins to seep through the cracks, illuminating jars of dried herbs and memories that sit quietly on weathered wooden shelves, smelling of earth and time past. With a creak of old wood, the rich heritage of this land. Hot water meets the grounds in a slow, precise pour, causing the coffee to bloom and release its deep essence in a fragrant cloud of steam and aroma. The first drop falls, dark and concentrated, a single bead of liquid energy that marks the beginning of a slow, meditative process of brewing the perfect cup. The interior hums with a quiet beauty, where every object, from the dried wildflowers to the woven runners, tells a story of simple living and mountain grace. A silver spoon stirs the dark liquid, the gentle clinking against glass the only sound in a moment of pure focus, as the flavors blend into perfection. The wood pops and shifts in the hearth, releasing the stored energy of years of growth in the forest, turning into light and heat for the soul. Wisps of steam curl from the mug like ghosts, carrying the bold scent of roasted beans into every corner of the room, awakening the senses and the spirit. In the quiet silhouette of the morning, the warmth of the mug in both hands is a grounding force, a simple joy found in the stillness of dawn. Intricate patterns on woven textiles tell tales of the Highland tribes, their colors vibrant even in the soft morning light, bridging the gap between past and present. The kitchen counter holds the tools of a simple life, where spices and sugar sit ready to transform the mountain's bounty into a meal filled with love. Ripples spread across the surface of the coffee with every drop, a visual echo of the peace that is slowly filling the cabin as the day begins. The fire's glow reflects in the window, merging with the sight of the mist outside, a beautiful union of internal warmth and the wild, untamed external world. The morning spread is complete, a humble yet perfect arrangement of coffee and simple treats that celebrate the slow pace of life on the high plateau. The sky matures into a heavy, dark blue as the first fat raindrops descend, striking the earth and releasing the intoxicating scent of wet dust and pine. Rain begins its rhythmic drumbeat on the rusty tin roof, a loud and chaotic symphony that somehow brings a sense of deep security and peace within. Water cascades from the wood mirror, catching the gray light of the sky and the movement of the trees. Tea steam rises to meet the cold air by the window, a small, warm cloud that carries the spirit of the highlands in every fragrant, soothing sip. As the downpour begins to soften, the heavy clouds start to fracture, hinting at the return of light and the end of the morning's rhythmic rain. In a quiet corner, stacks of old, yellowed books wait patiently, their pages holding the wisdom and stories of many years spent in the silence of the mountains. A hand turns a worn page with care, the soft sound of paper against paper marking the slow passage of time in this secluded wooden sanctuary. A fountain pen rests beside an inkwell, a tool for reflection and deep thought, ready to capture the fleeting ideas that arise in the morning solitude. The rhythmic tick of a pendulum clock counts the seconds, a steady heartbeat that reminds us to appreciate the beauty of a morning where time feels irrelevant. Dried flowers hold the memory of summer, their delicate forms preserved and dusty, standing as silent witnesses to the quiet contemplations that occur at this wooden desk. Eyes look outward, reflecting the wild greenery and the drifting mist, as the mind travels far beyond the walls of the cabin into the depths of nature. Old letters, tied with simple string, hold the voices of the past, their ink fading but the emotions they carry remaining strong in the highland air. Words flow onto the page like the rain outside, a stream of consciousness that seeks to understand the self in the presence of the great, silent forest. The bookshelf is a world of its own, a diverse collection of voices and ideas that provide companionship during the long, misty mornings of the high plateau. An old photograph captures a moment of joy from years ago, a reminder of the connections that remain even when one chooses the path of solitude. As the ink dries, thoughts become permanent, anchored to the physical world and providing a map of the soul's journey through the stillness. Highlands, hand-carved wood takes the shape of a bird, a testament to the patient craftsmanship that flourishes when one is surrounded by the inspiration of the trees. The lamp is no longer needed as the sky brightens, the artificial flame giving way to the natural radiance of a world emerging from its rainy slumber. Glasses rest upon an open page, their lenses reflecting the shifting light as the morning evolves, signaling a pause in the search for knowledge and meaning. In this corner of the world, Peace is not just the absence of noise, but the presence of deep, focused thought and the comfort of ancient books. A simple gesture of affection for a favorite book, a friend that never leaves and always has something new to say in the quiet hours of dawn. The hidden gears of time turn with precision, a small miracle of engineering that continues its work even while the rest of the mountain world stands still. The rain's applause fades into a few final drips, leaving the world refreshed and sparkling under a sky that is slowly beginning to wake and clear. A miraculous spear of golden light pierces the retreating mist, striking the forest floor and bringing the first true warmth of the day to the highland. Inside the cabin, tiny dust motes perform a silent ballet within the sunbeam, turning the simple air into a magical display of light and movement. The earth begins to breathe, sending up soft plumes of steam as the sun's warmth touches the wet moss and the damp, dark soil of the forest. Life responds to the light as a pine cone slowly opens, shedding its mantle of water and preparing to release its seeds into the new, bright day. A cup of tea becomes a vessel of light, its amber liquid glowing like a jewel as the sunbeams catch the swirling steam rising from its surface. A single wildflower stands tall, its petals heavy with rain but glowing with newfound light, a symbol of resilience in the face of the mountain storms. The valley reveals its true colors as the mist dissolves, a vibrant tapestry of deep greens and earthy browns that had been hidden by the morning. Gutters and small, energetic waterfalls, washing away the dust and feeding the thirsty roots of the garden that surrounds the little home. Against the glass, the raindrops merge and race downward, creating unpredictable paths that distort the view of the forest into a beautiful, abstract painting of greens. The resident tabby stirs from its sleep, stretching lazily across a wool blanket that holds the warmth of the fire, completely indifferent to the storm outside. With golden eyes, the cat watches the rain, its calm presence adding to the cabin's atmosphere of safety as the world outside is washed clean by the storm. The forest bows before the wind, trees swaying in a violent but graceful dance, while the rain turns the landscape into a blurred vision of wild beauty. A finger traces a simple shape on the fogged glass, a fleeting mark of human presence in a moment of quiet connection with the rain and the mist. Each drop creates a fleeting work of art in the growing puddles, a series of expanding circles and bubbles that reflect the gray, heavy sky above. The cat retreats back into the comfort of the patterned wool, finding the perfect spot where the chill of the rain cannot reach its peaceful, soft slumber. From the edge of the woods, the cabin looks like a glowing ember in the dark rain, a beacon of warmth and safety in the cold, wet highland. Gravity pulls the water from the eaves, each drop a crystal sphere that falls with deliberate slowness, catching the light for a split second before vanishing. The loud music of the rain on the roof fills the cabin, creating a soundscape that makes the interior feel even more intimate and remarkably quiet. Resting by the fire, the simple comfort of knitted socks provides a barrier against the mountain cold, allowing the body to truly relax and find stillness. A candle is lit to join the fire's light, its small flame dancing in the draft, adding a scent of beeswax to the room's complex morning perfume. Even in sleep, the cat is aware of the storm, its tail twitching to the rhythm of the rain, a silent participant in the cabin's morning peace. The wooden porch is drenched, its surface turning dark and reflective like a